some things on the knees, not very many things, but you don't have to be on your knees. You can use a chair or you can use standing up. But you can use, if you want to go on your knees, you can use a blanket or a pillow to place underneath your knees. Okay, so you adjust it however you need to adjust it for yourself. Okay, so stand up. So since this is an afternoon class, and you've all experienced part of your day today already, we're going to let go of some stuff. So let's think about letting go of the day that's happened already, whether it was good or bad. Don't label what's happened, your experiences, or anything like that. We just want to start fresh and clean. So we're going to just start to shake off some stuff. So you can just start shaking off your fingers, your hands, getting your elbows, your arms, maybe your shoulders, shake them out. Bending into the knees, wiggle your hips. And if you want to hold on to something or not, find some balance, maybe shake out a leg, shake out the other leg. So shake out whatever you feel like you need to shake out, wiggle around. Okay, and then just stop and be still just for a moment, just feeling the circulation happening in your body. Might feel your heart beating a little bit more now too. And then you're going to start to just dust yourself off. So we're going to take one of your hands, it doesn't matter which hand because we're going to use both. We're just going to start to just wipe down. And just think of things that you might just want to get rid of here. Some thoughts or, you know, COVID thoughts and virus thoughts and constricting thoughts, and just wipe down, wipe away. Let's wipe it all off. So we're just going to start out nice and fresh. Maybe wipe off your forehead, your cheeks, your chin, your head. Just like you're trying to get rid of the dust that's formed on your body. The dust of negativity, the dust of stuff that we just need to get rid of. Okay. So once we've finished dusting it off, shake it a little bit more. And then we're going to come down onto our mat. I'm going to start on our backs. So come down, rest on your back. We're going to bring our feet into butterfly. So the soles of the feet are going to connect. We're going to lay our heads down onto our mats. Our arms are going to be on the mat, or you can rest them on your tummy. And you just allow the knees to flop, come down towards the ground. They more than likely will not touch. And the feet can be brought up closer to your pelvis or away from your pelvis. Now, if you feel like this is maybe too much for you, then just extend your legs out. But we're just going to allow ourselves just to settle here and close our eyes. And become aware of your surroundings. So notice the ground underneath you and how that feels. Notice the space around you, on either side of your body and above you. And again, kick into your senses. Notice as much as you can about the space within that you have around you and that you are in. And then just slowly draw your attention inwards. So you're bringing your attention to your intention inwards. And we'll begin to do a little scan of the body. So the physical body. And just noticing how that physical body's feeling. Moving through the muscles and the bones, the ligaments, the organs. And go up in the mind, and checking out what's happening up there. Taking your time. Throughout your practice today, try to come back every once in a while just to do a little body scan, a little mind scan. Just to observe, just to notice if anything's changing, if everything feels good, or if anything feels different. Okay, and then while you're scanning, doing your little scans, I'm just going to read just a little quote that we're going to be sending our intention today for our practice. And I don't have an author for this, so it's an unknown. But the quote goes, "Your mind will believe everything that you tell it. Feed it faith, feed it truth, and feed it with love." Your mind will believe everything you tell it. Feed it faith, feed it truth, feed it with love. So just think about that just for a few moments. I'm going to start to work on truth. What is true for yourself? So as we move through our practice today, moving into different postures, you decide what works for you. What is your truth? And sometimes our truths are formed from our experiences from way back when we were children, when we were growing up, and all the different things that have happened to us. What our parents taught us, what our friends taught us, what our teachers taught us, and what life has taught us. And that's what has formed our truth, our beliefs. Okay, so let's bring our awareness to our breath now. Place a hand on your belly, place a hand on your heart, and allow your breath to grow. Feel the breath moving in and out through your body. Getting stronger and longer and deeper, and maybe even slower as you breathe in and you breathe out. Feel your body expanding as you breathe in, feeling the belly rising, the size of the body expanding. As you exhale, feel yourself contracting like a little sponge as you squeeze out whatever you don't need. So breathing in your truth, and then exhaling out your doubt. Breathe in your truth. Exhale out doubt. Allowing that breath to keep growing, but we're not struggling here with our breath. It's coming in nice and easy and smooth. Okay, and then on your next breath, you're going to bring your legs and you're going to bring them together. Your knees are bent, your feet are on the ground. And you can place your hands on your belly if you like, or place them on your mat. And we're slowly going to move our pelvis back and forth, kind of like a little rocking in the pelvis region. As we inhale, the belly's going to rise up. You can have a little bit more space underneath the lower back. As you exhale, your tailbone's going to rise up and you might press your lower back deeper into the ground. So inhale, push the belly up, small space underneath the lower back. As you exhale, rocking that pelvis back, tailbone comes up, pushing the lower back into the ground. We'll just do that a couple more times, moving with your breath. Okay, and then bring your pelvis back to some stillness. Just hold, seeing what you notice. Then you're going to start to bring your knees in towards your chest. Stretch your legs up into the air. Maybe wiggle your ankles around, wiggle your toes. Then you're going to grab hold of either your thighs, or maybe your knees, or maybe your shins, maybe your ankles, or maybe your feet, and bring yourself into some sort of a happy baby. So the legs are kind of up in the air and you're just holding on to whatever part of your body feels okay. The intention is to bring your knees towards your armpits. And I realize that majority of everybody is not going to be able to do that, and that's perfectly fine. You find your own truth of what works best for you. If the legs don't feel comfortable going up into the air, keep your feet onto the ground, and then just maybe imagine yourself bringing your knees towards your armpits. Remember, this is about finding your own truth. What works best in your body? And we're just going to hold it here for a couple of breaths. Trying to soften and relax. We're not trying to struggle or put ourselves into any sense of pain or discomfort. Work towards your own truth. Okay, on your next inhale, you're going to bring your legs together and stretch the legs back up again. And then bring those legs all the way back down. So your feet are on the ground, knees are bent. Then you're going to place your hands down on the ground. And now this time you're just going to push into your feet, lift your hips up just a little bit off the ground, and then bring the hips back down. So it's a little bit like a half bridge, but we're not going up as high. Keep your eyes looking upwards at the sky, lift the hips up just a little bit, and then bring them all the way back down. So as you inhale, you're lifting up. Try to soften your bottom, your glutes. And then exhale, squeeze and bring everything back down. One more time, inhale to lift up, soften your bottom. And then exhale, bring your bottom all the way back down. And holding it here for a moment. And then stretch your legs out. Bring your arms above your head, reach and stretch. And then we're going to roll over to one side just for a moment, and then push yourself up into a seat. Actually, no, not into a seat. You're going to bring your knees in front of you. So you're going to bend into your knees, your feet are flat on the ground. And you're going to lean back into your hands. Lean back into your hands like this. Okay, your feet can be about hip width apart or maybe a little bit more. Okay, and we're just going to gently move the knees from side to side. So just doing a little twist, side to side. The knees do not have to go all the way down. And you can move your head in the same direction as the knees are going. Very slow, very gently. Don't forget about your breath. If this does not feel good on the wrists, you can come down onto your forearms and do the same thing. And that might feel better on some people's wrists. So you try figuring out what works best for you. Again, this is your own truth. What works best in your body? Okay, so as we're doing this, now we're gonna start to move the head in the opposite direction as the knees. And again, if that doesn't work for you, you work it so that it works best in your body. Just moving back and forth. A couple more times. And then bring everything back to center. So you're either on your hands, your fingers are either pointing towards you or they're pointing away from you. Depends on how it feels in your shoulders and your chest, or you might be down onto your forearms. So you find out what works best for you, push into your hands or your arms and your feet, and you're just gonna gently lift your bottom up off the ground and then bring it back down. Okay, so inhale to lift, exhale to lower, and it might not be, you might not be pushing yourself up very high, and that's perfectly fine. Inhale to lift, exhale to lower. You can do this on your forearms too. Inhale to lift, exhale to lower. We'll do that one more time. Inhale to lift, and exhale to lower. Good. And then you're going to push yourself back up. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Flex your feet. If you need to sit on something so that you're not hunched over, you can sit on, either roll your mat so that you're sitting on the very edge, or a blanket so that your pelvis tilts a little bit more forwards. Okay, so we're flexing up our toes up. We're just sitting up here for a couple of moments. And just notice what's happening in the back of the legs. Again, finding your truth, what works best for you. This might mean you need to prop something underneath the knees, if that might feel better, or even just bend the knees. I know when my sciatica was really kicking up in February, to sit like this was impossible for me. I had to bring my knees and bend them a little bit more. So you find out what works best for you. Sitting up nice and tall, check in with your breath. Okay, now we're going to open up the legs just a little bit more. I'm going to face you. And again, this is not my favorite pose. So my legs are not very wide because I don't practice this one. It's not my favorite. So everyone work the way they need to work. We're sitting up. If you want to lean against a wall, you can do that too. Okay, so we're holding it here. Toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. We're going to bring our arms out nice and wide. And we're going to do some eagle arms. So left arm underneath the right arm, bend at the elbows, and then wiggle your hands around. You might end up only twisting at the wrists, or if you can go a little closer, try that. And we're going to sit up nice and tall here. Okay. So make sure you're breathing. Soften through your shoulders, soften through your face. You might notice that there's probably a struggle happening. Probably a struggle happening in the body. I know there definitely is for me right now because I do not like sitting like this. So there's a struggle telling me, get out of this position. But I'm just going to try to breathe through it because I'm not in any pain. I just don't like it. That's all. So I'm breathing through it, finding my truth where I can stay and breathe. Again, if there is any pain, well, remove yourself. Move yourself out of the position. Okay, so you can stay here if you like, or we're going to start to move a little bit. So in your inhale, we're going to lift the arms up. Exhale, we're just going to go forward a little bit. And some people are going to be a lot more flexible and be able to go a lot further than I am, and that's great. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, go forwards. So we don't want to round ourselves here. We want to try to keep as straight a flat back as possible. Inhale, lift. Exhale, go forwards. We'll just do this one more time. Inhale, lift. And exhale, go forwards. Okay, come back to center. Unwind the arms, bring them down. We're going to bring the legs back together. We're going to make our way down onto the ground again and give ourselves a nice big stretch. Stretch it out. And then we're going to push ourselves back up into a seat again. So again, bringing your legs out in front of you first. Stay here for a moment, having the toes point up, nice and tall. Remember, you can sit on something if you like. And then we're going to open up the legs again. Okay, and then bring the arms out into a T. And this time the right arm is going to go underneath the left arm. Twisting around, just doing the best you can. Hug those elbows down towards the chest, soften the shoulders, soften the face. Try not to struggle. Try to just breathe. Remember, sometimes we get ourselves into situations like this that we don't really like, but it's our choice on what we do with that, how we react, how we respond, and what we do with it. We can just breathe through it, these situations that we don't particularly enjoy, we can get through it. Okay, so on your inhale, lift the arms up, and then exhale, we're just gonna go forward just a little bit. Try to keep a level back, try not to round. Inhale to lift, and exhale, coming forwards. Inhale to lift. Exhale, come forwards. And then inhale, come back to center. Hold it here. And then unwind those arms, open them up, bring them down, bring your legs together. My legs are screaming at me. And then we're going to make our way down again onto our backs, giving ourselves a nice stretch. Stretch it out. Good, and then we're going to roll over and come onto our hands and knees. So if you need to put something underneath your knees, please do so. If you want to stand up and do this or sit in a chair and do this, this is perfectly fine too. We're going to go into some cows and cats. So if you're on your hands and knees, you want the wrists underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. And then just play around with what you're doing with your feet. Your feet are either tucked or the tops of the feet are pushed down. I know while I'm doing that, I might get a little cramp in the arch of my foot, so I'm going to have my toes tucked. But again, you figure out what works best for you. If you're in a chair, just try to sit up nice and tall with your feet rooted into the ground and your bottom into the chair seat. Okay, so let's start doing some cows and cats, but just wait for a moment. Come in contact with your breath again. As you inhale, feel your whole body expanding right through your pelvic floor. So your belly is kind of like lowering to the ground, expanding, sides of the body expanding, really spread out through your shoulder blades and kind of like having it open up through your pelvis as you breathe in. As you exhale, contract everything and squeeze yourself like a little sponge. We're not moving. Okay, we're kind of visualizing this in our minds. So inhale, expand your whole body. And exhale, squeeze everything out. Now let's start to move. Inhale into your cow, expand. Exhale, contract and squeeze into your cat. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, expand, and exhale, contract. 1 more time. Inhale, expand, and exhale, contract. Okay, can bring yourself right back to your table, or if you're in a chair, I don't know if anyone's sitting in a chair, I can't tell. We're on our hands and knees still. Okay, we're gonna take our right arm and we're gonna reach it out. And we're gonna reach out our left leg. So you can keep that left leg down onto the ground, or you can lift it up. And we're just going to inhale here, exhale, touch the foot and hand down to the ground. Inhale to lift it up. Exhale just to lower it down. Inhale to lift it up. Exhale to lower it down. You can do this on the chair too. Inhale, lift up, right hand, left leg. Exhale, lower down. And then change. So come back onto your hands and knees. Okay, this time we're going to extend the left arm out and the right leg out. This is an inhale as you lift up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Left arm, right leg lifts up. Exhale, lower down. Last time, up and down. And then bring both hands down, both legs down. Just hold it here for a moment. Take a couple of breaths. Okay, and then you're going to sit down into a seat. So find whatever seat works for you. Bring your hands onto your knees. I'm going to start to do some circles. Moving around. Breathing nice and slow and easy. Taking your time. Nice and slow. Moving with your breath. The next time you're moving into the front part, so you're forward, we're just going to stay here for a moment. So just notice where you're gripping. We're trying to find our truth. So what is happening? Notice where you can soften a little bit more. And all the different sensations that are happening here. Okay, and then on your next breath, we're just going to move over to one side. We're just going to stay here. So we're still moving in that circle. We're just going really, really slow. So we're on one side and we're just holding it here. So again, what is your truth? And notice, like, where is your head? Where are your arms? How are you holding yourself? Noticing all the different sensations that are coming out of this. What's going on with your breath? Okay, on your next breath, we're going to move it towards the back. It's the back of the circle now. And find yourself there. And again, do a little scan. Notice what's happening here. Where's your head? Where are your arms? Where are your eyes? Next breath, move over towards the other side and stay. So the side you didn't do. And again, just discover what's going on here. Where's your head? What can you let go of here? What are you gripping onto? What is your truth? Okay, on your next breath, come back to in front of you, going forwards, and then let's reverse it. So go towards the one side we just stopped at. Then go towards the back, towards the other side, towards the front. Let's go around again in a circle, going slow, noticing how it might feel different this way. Okay, and the next time we're forwards again, we're gonna just stay here. Notice if maybe you've softened a little bit more. Maybe you can go forward a little bit more. And again, noticing where your head is, where your shoulders are, where your hands are, what your breath is doing. Okay, and then let's move over to that one side that we did the very last. And stay there. And just adjust it so that you just notice. Again, we're not going in towards any sense of pain, so adjust it so that it works for you. But be curious. Notice where your head is and what your breath is doing. Okay, on your next breath, we're going to go back, moving into your back. So half a circle we've done now. We're just going to stay there. And again, notice maybe your shoulders have creeped up towards the ears. See if you can soften. Maybe your back is rounding more. Maybe you feel more comfortable, maybe not. Okay, on your next breath, go towards the other side, and you're going to just stay there. Again, see if you can soften just a little bit more. Let go of what you just don't need. Where are you gripping? Okay, next breath, bring yourself forwards. Finishing that circle, and then bring yourself up, sitting up nice and tall. Just close your eyes, do a little scan here. Take this opportunity just to do a little check-in. Noticing what your truth is again. And maybe I'll just reread that little quote. Your mind will believe everything you tell it. Feed it faith, feed it truth, feed it love. So have you been showering yourself with love, or have you been doubting yourself, or criticizing yourself, or judging yourself? Most of the time we don't tend to do it. It just happens. Okay, so you can open up your eyes. We're going to bring ourselves up, all the way up, standing up on top of our feet. Not on top of our feet, but on our feet. I'm going to turn sideways. Okay, so finding ourselves in a Tadasana, mountain pose. Okay, so take a moment here. Rounding down into those feet. Finding some stability here. On the next breath, we're going to bend into the knees, bring the arms all the way above our heads, stretching and reaching. And then exhale, open up the arms and go all the way down towards the ground. You might reach it, you might not, it doesn't matter. And then come up halfway, so the hands can come to the shins or to the thighs. Use any support that you need. And then exhale, release it down, a little bit more of a forward bend. Bend into the knees a little bit more and bring yourself all the way back up. Reaching up as high as you can, and then bring your hands towards your heart. Okay, you're going to root down through the right foot, and we're going to bring the left foot up and bring it all the way back. And we're going to plant it down. And the foot's going to be about 45 degrees. So we're bringing ourselves into warrior one. So it's like your feet are on railroad tracks. And we're going to bend into that right knee. Okay, and then we'll bring the arms up into the air. Okay, so that right knee is right over top of the ankle. You can widen the stance if you like. So either widen the legs apart or bring them forward and back a little bit more. So find where you have some stability here and some balance. Okay, take a moment here. Then you're going to stretch out that right leg. So both legs are straight. You can have a little bit of a micro bend here if you like. Reach the arms up really, 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 really high. And then bring the arms all the way down behind you. So you can clasp the hands. There's a few variations here. Clasp the hands, or hold onto your wrists, or hold onto your elbows, or if you have a little bit more flexibility, you can bring your hands into a backwards, which I can't really do it very well, but a backwards prayer. So entirely up to you. I don't like that one, so I'm not going to do it. So you go to where you like. I'm going to grab hold of my elbows. Soften through your shoulders. Lift up through the chest. Take a big breath in here. Push into both feet. And you're just going to hinge from the hips and you're going to come forwards into a pyramid pose. Okay, so the back is somewhat level. Your neck is in line with your spine and you're going to push into your feet so you feel balanced. If you don't feel very secure here, if you feel like you're wiggly woggling, you can definitely let go of your arms and hold on to something to give yourself a little bit more balance. Okay, so make sure you're breathing and you're not holding on to your breath. I'm going to find the truth here. What feels right in your body? How can you stay present and not allow the mind to wander? We'll stay here, breathe, notice what's happening. We'll take 2 more breaths here. Nice, long, deep breaths. And then on your next inhale, you're going to lift yourself up nice and slow. Release the arms, bend into that right knee, and bring the arms all the way above your head again. So back to your warrior 1. And then we're going to take a step forwards onto that right leg. Take the left leg, we're going to lift it up. Just a little bit, just to hold it there. Again, if you need to hold on to something, do. And then place the leg down by the right leg, bringing your hands towards your heart. And take a moment. Do a little check-in, noticing what's happening here. Are you giving yourself some love, finding that truth, having faith that you will find it? Okay, let's do the other side. And I'll just stay forwards this time. Okay, so I'm going to bring the weight into our left foot. I'm going to take the right leg, bring it up. And then we're going to reach it back, planting it down. So it's like you're on railroad tracks. Bend into that left knee and then bring the arms up. And again, finding balance and adjust your legs. Sometimes you just have to wiggle around until you feel stable and balanced. And that's perfectly fine to do that. Okay, and then we're just going to hold it here and just take a few breaths, noticing how you feel. Excellent. Okay, so we're going to straighten out that left leg now. Root down through both feet. Try to find some balance here through the feet. So you want to have equal weight between both. Take your arms, and then we're going to bring them back and down. So if you were clasping your hands, clasp them in the opposite way. Or if you were grabbing your wrists, grab them in the opposite way. If you were holding onto your elbows, hold onto your elbows in the opposite way, if you can remember. And if you were doing that reverse prayer, see if you can do it again or not, entirely up to you. So stand up nice and tall here. We're not locking our knees. Just remember that, okay? So there's a little bit of a micro bend in the knees, and we're gonna hinge at the hips, lift ourselves up through the chest, soften the shoulders, and hinge forwards. And again, just going as far as you can, using any balancing tools that you need to use. If you need to use the wall of the chair, that's not cheating. Just know that, and it's okay to do that. Give yourself permission. So whatever you need to do, remember that the neck is part of the spine. It has the part of the spine going right through it. So have that be level with the rest of the spine. So don't look up so much and don't look down so much. Try to keep it all nice and level, and just go to where you can go. You might have a little bit of a slope here, and that's perfectly fine. Try to keep the weight equally distributed. Try to have faith in yourself that you can stay here and breathe. Find your truth. What works for you? Making any adjustments that you need to make. Make sure you're breathing. Hold it for a couple more breaths. So that means 2 more breaths. Smile. It's not so bad. It's going to be over soon. And then on your next inhale, bring yourself slowly back up. Bend into the knee, release the arms. Bring those arms up above your head. Big stretch up. And then bring your hands towards your heart. Push the weight into your left foot. You're going to take your right leg. You're going to bring it up into the air. Find your balance and then bring it down. Equal weight between both feet. Bring your arms down by your sides. Close your eyes. And again, do a little check-in. How did one side feel compared to the other side? What was happening? Okay, one more balance before we get back down. So let's root down through the right foot. I'm gonna bring our hands towards our heart, unless you need to hold on to something. Okay, and then you're going to take your left foot and you're going to just cross it in front of either your shin or the ankle or up above your knee. So either or, okay, above the knee, below the knee on the shin, or across your ankle, and you can put your toes down if you like to. Okay, entirely up to you. So this is somewhat like a tree pose. And then you can bend into your knee a little bit, that supporting knee. You can bend into the knee. And if you wish, you can go as far down as you like. You can even hold on to something. And then see if you can balance here. So wherever you are, going to wherever works for you. So where your truth is. Breathe through it. Adjust it as necessary. And let's take one more breath here. And then bring yourself all the way back up. See if you can hold it there before you release. And then bring that leg down. Bring the arms down and just take a moment here. Okay, let's do the other side. Bring your hands towards your heart. Shift the weight into your left foot. And again, take that right foot and either cross it at the ankle, cross the shin, below the knee, or above the knee. Find your balance here first. Then you can slowly, when you're ready, bend into the knee, bring the hips back, and then come into like a little chair. Try to keep pushing down through those big toes. Holding it here, softening through the face and through the shoulders. Finding your truth. If you fall out of it, just come right back in. It's perfectly fine. Happens to everybody. Now let's take another breath here. Wiggly woggly, and it's a little bit trickier on the left side. Okay, and then when you're ready, bring yourself all the way back up. See if you can stay here just for one more moment. And then bring that leg down. Bring the arms down. And take a moment here. Okay, we're gonna make our way to the ground. So we're gonna heel toe our feet apart. And we're gonna go into my favorite pose, Malasana. So it's a squat. We're gonna go all the way down to the ground, but again, find your truth, find out what works best for you. So bend into your knees and start lowering yourself down. You have to hold on to something, do. If you have to make any adjustments, do. If you have to get down onto the ground in another direction or another way, do. That's perfectly fine. So find yourself here. Take a moment. See if you can soften. And then bring yourself all the way down. And we're going to come down onto our backs. On the back. I'm going to keep the knees bent. Bring the arms out wherever you feel like you want them. Heel toe the feet away from each other. And we're just going to do another little twist from side to side. The knees do not need to touch the ground when you're doing this. And again, if you feel like it, your head can go in the same direction. So we're inhaling as the knees and head come back to center. Exhale as you move in towards your twist. So we're just being really soft and gentle here. Just feeling the movement in the sacrum as the knees move over towards the other side. If you feel like having your head go in the opposite direction, that's perfectly fine too. The spine likes that, twisting in different ways. So you do what works for you, what your truth is. We'll do that maybe 1 or 2 more times. Nice and slow. And then bring yourself back to center. Stay here for a moment. You might even feel yourself still moving even though you're not. As your body kind of allows that wave to stop. And then extend your legs out towards the corners of your mat. Bring your arms to where you feel comfortable. They can be resting on your belly, one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart, or just lying down by your side. Close your eyes and then give totally in to your Savasana. So for your Savasana today, I'm just going to give you a little bit of a restful meditation. So just begin to watch your breath. Every time you exhale, Feel your body softening into the ground. And then bring your attention towards your head. Feeling the head very heavy. Feeling it letting go. Feel it melting into your mat. Bring your attention towards your shoulders. Feel the shoulders getting heavier. Feeling the shoulders letting go to any tension that might be lingering there. Allowing those shoulders to totally soften into the mat. Bring your attention to your arms and your hands. Feeling the arms and hands become really heavy as they lie against your mat or your body. Feel as if you can totally let go of anything, any tension, any stress in those arms and hands. Feeling them totally relax. Bring your awareness to your hips. Feeling your hips and your buttocks become extremely heavy as they settle onto your mat. Feeling all the muscles soften and relax and release with every breath you take. And bring your attention to your legs. Feeling both legs become very heavy on the mat. Feeling the joints in the legs soften and release. Feeling all the muscles in the legs relax and release. Bring your attention to your feet. Feeling the feet soften. Feeling them let go. Feeling them becoming very heavy and light at the same time. Relax, release, and soften. Feel your whole body connecting to your mat. Feel all the tension drain away. Feeling the body deeply relaxed. Feel it soften. Feel it let go. Peacefully allow your mind to come back, your body to come back, your breath to deepen. Feel the movements beginning. Feel the blood moving through your body. Begin to bring some motion back in, wiggling fingers and toes. Allowing the breath to deepen every single time you breathe in and you breathe out. Start to create a little bit more motion into the body, maybe rocking from side to side, and giving yourself a stretch or a hug. Responding to whatever the body wants you to do. When you're ready, roll over onto one side. Bring yourself up into a seat. Bring your hands towards your heart. Close your eyes, bow your head. Your mind will believe everything that you tell it. Feed it faith, feed it truth, and feed it with love. Take a moment to reflect on that quote, to reflect on your practice. If you were able to find your truth in your practice today, if you were able to let go of whatever situation that you were placed in, notice how you responded and reacted to those situations with your own truth, with your own breath. Let's close our practice today with one communal Om. So taking a breath in through the nose. Exhale it out through the mouth. Inhale for one Om. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Namaste.